Now after a long gap, I am again back with gate problems. Now since I am now explaining the chapter electrochemistry to you, I will now discuss some problems which appeared in gate. But this problem will also be helpful to you for JAM, NET, and also those students who are eager to appear in JEE Advanced will also be helpful with such problems. But I will request higher secondary students, those who are concerned only with the higher secondary exam, you must not waste your time watching this video. This is strictly for advanced electrochemistry who seek to study advanced electrochemistry, and it will be helpful for those students only, I am repeating, who wants to appear in GATE or NET, in JEE Advanced or in JAM. So this is mainly for competitive exams. Now see, the problem that is given is, it appeared in 2001 for the Western cell cadmium, amalgamated cadmium, and here it is crystals of cadmium sulfate, here it is cadmium sulfate solution, solid Hg2SO4. Actually there is a paste of Hg and Hg2SO4. I have discussed it in the starting lectures of electrochemistry that you will get in the playlist electrochemistry. Please go there and watch about this cell, and this cell is actually used as a standard cell to determine the EMF. Now here it is mercury. Now you need platinum at both the ends to draw the current or to close the external circuit. Now the temperature dependence of EMF is given by this formula, that is this expression, that is E equals to 1.0185 plus 4.05 into 10 to the minus 5 into T minus 293 plus 9.5 into 10 to the minus 7 into T minus 293 whole square. You have to find the change in entropy at 25 degrees centigrade for the cell. The reaction that is occurring within the cell, that is cell reaction, will be associated with enthalpy change, gives free energy change, entropy change, and in this problem you have to find the change in entropy. Now for this problem you will need a working formula. You have to remember that formula in competitive exam, but since this is a training course, I am going to give you the detailed pathway in which that formula can be arrived at. But in exam, mind it, you must not waste your time deriving the formula. If you are determined that you are going to appear in the exam, then you have to write all the formula in. You have to sort out all the working formulas that will help you to solve problems in your copy, and you have to memorize it strictly. And whenever such problem comes, you have to sort out that exact working formula and you do the solution. Now here I will give you the detailed idea. So you need here Gibbs-Helmholtz equation. I have not started yet the classes on thermodynamics. When I will start it, I will show you what is this Gibbs-Helmholtz equation and how does it come. At present, I will just write the expression of this equation, Gibbs-Helmholtz equation. It is a very important equation. So Gibbs-Helmholtz equation is del G equals to del H plus T into del T of del G at constant pressure. Now you all know the value of the expression of G, which is G equals to H minus Ts. So dG will be dH minus TdS minus SdT. Now we will carry out the entire process at constant temperature and pressure. So it will be dH minus TdS only. This SdT will be 0 since derivative of constant will be 0. Now for finite change, what will be the value? It will be del G equals to del H minus T del S. So this is equation 2 and this is equation 1. Now let us compare these two equations, equation 1 and equation 2. You see here it is del G, it is del G, del H, and minus T del S is given by this equation. So comparing 1 and 2 we will get have minus del S equals to TT will cancel out and here it will be minus del S equals to del T of del G at constant pressure. So let us remove this. So we have the relation of the change in entropy. Now see, we know del G equals to minus NF E cell. I have discussed it in previous lectures. Previous lecture means that you will get in the playlist named as electrochemistry. So we know that del G equals to minus NF E cell and we put this in equation 3. So we will get minus del S equals to del T minus NF E cell at constant pressure, or del S equals to, so let this come out first, minus del S equals to, these are constants N and F, so it will come out, minus NF will come out and we will get del E del T at constant pressure. So it will be del S equals to NF dE dt constant pressure. So if you know the temperature coefficient, that is the rate of change of EMF of the cell with respect to temperature at constant pressure, and if you know the cell reaction, then you will get this value of N, that is number of electron transfer per reaction, then you will be able to determine the change in entropy associated with the reaction. So this is how entropy change can be determined in any galvanic cell. Now this is how entropy change can be determined, and Gibbs free energy change is given by the amount of non-mechanical work, that is electrical work. So it is minus NF E cell. So in this way you can determine the value of change in Gibbs free energy. And what about del H? See, in the Gibbs-Helmholtz equation we have noticed that del G equal to del H plus T del G del T P, or del H equals to del G minus, so we take this to the left hand side, so it will be T del G del T P, right? Now put here this value minus NF E cell in place of del G, so it will be del G minus T ddt of minus NF E cell. So it will be del G minus, now here this minus NF will come out, so it will be plus here, and let us put the value of del G, so it will be minus NF E cell plus this minus NF will come out and it will be NFT. See, it will be NFT minus NF will come out, it will be plus NFT dE dt. This is the value of del H. So I can write now that having a knowledge on E cell and the temperature coefficient of that cell, it is a characteristic of any cell. Obviously, you know from thermodynamics that state function is a property and also rate of change of state function is also a property. So it is also a property of the system, characteristic feature of any galvanic cell. So if you have a knowledge on E cell and dEdt for any galvanic cell, then you will be able to determine the values of change in Gibbs free energy, that is minus NF E cell. You will be able to determine the value of change in entropy, that is del S equals to NF dEdt at constant pressure, and you will be also able to determine the value of del H, that is change in enthalpy, equals to minus NF E cell plus NFT dEdt. So these are the working formulas that will help you to determine the change in enthalpy, change in entropy, change in Gibbs free energy associated with any cell reaction that is occurring within a galvanic cell. So you have to memorize these three formulas. Now in this problem, they are asking you for the change in entropy only. So we will need this equation. But the temperature coefficient is not given here. See, there is no expression given here like dEdt of E. But they have given you an expression in which E is varying in terms of temperature. So that will be helpful. See, E equals to 1.0185 plus 4.05 into 10 to the power minus 5 T minus 293 plus 9.5 into 10 to the power minus 7 T minus 293 whole square. Don't copy in a hurry, because if you copy this wrongly, then your entire problem will be wrong. The solution, you will get the wrong solution. So let us check. It is 1.0185 plus 4.05 into 10 minus 5 into T minus 293 plus 9.5 into 10 minus 7. It is T minus 293. 9.5 10 minus 7 T minus 293 whole square. Now differentiate it with respect to temperature. So it will give you dEdt on the left hand side. It is constant, so it will be 0. Now this constant will come out, 4.05 into 10 to the minus 5, and if we operate here the derivative, it will give us ddt of T, that is 1, and minus, it is constant, so its derivative will be 0. So it will be multiplied by 1 minus 0 plus 9.5 into 10 to the power minus 7, and this power will come in front 2, and then derivative of this part will occur. So again derivative of T with respect to T, it will give you 1, and this one will be 0, and you see this is, I have told this wrong. See, this power will come first and then it will be 2 minus 1. So if you differentiate x to the power n, it will be n into x to the power n minus 1, and then you have to derivative this, differentiate this, so it will be 1 minus 0. Okay, so it is 4.05 into 10 to the power minus 5 plus 9.5 into 10 to the power minus 7. Now the temperature given here is 25 degrees centigrade. See this one, 25 degrees centigrade. So it implies 298 Kelvin. So it will be 9.5 into 10 to minus 7 into 2 into 298 minus 293. Here the power is 1 and it will be 1. So we have, see, 4.05 into 10 to the power minus 5 plus 9.5 into, see, this will give you 5. 298 minus 293 will give you 5, and 5 into 2 will be 10. Now you multiply this 10 to the minus 7 by 10, so that you will get 10 to the minus 6. Now you write here 10 to the minus 5. So there will be another 10 to the power minus 1. You multiply it here. So that will give you 0.95. Now when you add this, I am taking the powers in as identical form, so that it will be easier to add them. Now this 4.05 plus 0.95, what it will be? It will be 5 into 10 to the power minus 5. So that will be helpful too. In this way you can avoid use of calculator. So you get the value of dEdt. See, now what you have to know is the cell reaction. Cell reaction is, here it is CD, so the anode reaction will be CD arrow CD2 plus 2 electron, and the cathode reaction will be 2Hg plus 2 electron. So let us represent it in the same format. So it will be 2Hg arrow 2Hg plus 2 electron. So this is anode reaction, this is cathode reaction. Now actually reduction is occurring here. So we have to subtract the cathode reaction from the anode reaction. So it will give us CD minus 2Hg arrow CD2 plus minus 2Hg plus. So rearranging, we will get CD plus 2Hg plus arrow CD2 plus 2Hg. CD plus 2Hg plus CD plus 2Hg plus arrow CD2 plus 2Hg. So this is the cell reaction. Now you see there are 2 electron transfer in this reaction. So N will be 2. Actually you don't need this cell reaction in this problem. Just you see what it is giving you, CD to CD2 plus. So that is 2 electron transfer. So don't waste your time writing this. I am just, since it is the trading class, I am giving you the detailed mechanism. So N equals to 2. Now it's time to put the values. So we got the value of temperature coefficient, we got the value of N. So it will be 2 into 96500 into, it will be 5 into 10 to the power minus 5. Now this is in Coulomb and this will be in volt. So volt Coulomb will give you joule and it will be joule per Kelvin, and here mole will come. So per mole will come. So it will be joule per mole per Kelvin. Now multiply it. Again avoid use calculator if it is possible. Then 5 into 2 it will give you 10. See, 5 into 2 it will give you 10. 10 into 10 to the minus 5 it will be 10 to the minus 4. So the point will come 4 digit before. So it will be 9.65. 9.65 joule per mole per Kelvin. So you get the value of del S to be So you get the value of del S to be 9.65 joule per mole per Kelvin. Now see the options given. It is minus 253 per Kelvin per mole in option A. In option B we have 9.65 joule per Kelvin per mole, and here in option C we have 8.3 into 10 minus 4 joule per Kelvin per mole, and option D it is 0. So you see option B is the correct answer. So answer is option B. Now in competitive exam, you have only 30 seconds to read the problem, not more than that. To read the problem, to understand the problem, to recall the expressions which will help you to solve this problem. Just for the entire process, you will have 30 seconds. Now to solve the problem and to bubble up, you will get 1 minute only. So from starting reading to bubbling up, you get only 90 seconds. So you have to be very fast in competitive exam. So you must go through a rigorous training so that you get a proper rank that will help you to place with the subject of your choice or in the institution of your choice. Now in this connection, I will share with you another problem that problem does not appear in GATE, but I am sharing with you another problem in Clark's cell. This problem did not appear in GATE. In Clark's cell, where the cell representation is like ZnSO4, it is Hg2SO4. There is another board in the left hand side and I am copying it from that board. So it is ZnSO4, Hg2SO4, Hg. So this is the anode and this is the cathode. Here it is the salt bridge. So this is Clark's cell. And given is E cell equals to 1.42 volt and also the temperature coefficient is given, it is minus 1.2 into 10 to the power minus 3 volt per degree centigrade. It is volt per degree centigrade. So since this is in absolute temperature and per degree centigrade is equal to per Kelvin, 1 Kelvin, 1 degree centigrade equivalent to 1 Kelvin, we can write here volt per Kelvin. So this is given, cell is given, E cell is given, EMF of the cell is given, temperature coefficient is given, and you have to find the change in enthalpy of that cell, for the cell. Find the del H of that cell. So solution, you can remember just in the previous problem I have shown you how to find the del H. So the expression look like this. You have to memorize it. Del H equals to minus NFE cell and here it is plus, so NFT and it is dt of E. This is the expression for determining the value of del H. Now see, this part is the del G, change in Gibbs free energy, and this is equal to the electrical work. I have described that electrical work in a galvanic cell is coming from the change in Gibbs free energy, and for that you must visit the playlist electrochemistry in my channel, and probably in lecture 2 or 3 I have described the philosophy of getting the electrical energy from Gibbs free energy change. So this is the Gibbs free energy change del G and it is equal to minus NF E cell. Now see, del H is equal to this one, but not only equal to this one. If you add to del G this value, this expression NFT dE dt, then only you will get del H. So the electrical work that you are getting from a galvanic cell equals the change in Gibbs free energy. This is the del G part. You can remember it from the derivation that I have made 2 to 3 minutes ago. And if we add this term to this del G, we will get del H. So del H is not equal to the electrical work. So in a galvanic cell, we are not getting the electrical work. This is non-mechanical, that is electrical work. We are not getting the electrical work from the enthalpy change. But sometimes in exam, a question comes that can you mention the criteria or at what condition the electrical work equals the change in enthalpy. So if such question comes, first write this expression. Now this is the expression for the electrical work and this is the enthalpy change, and they are saying you that at what condition this will equal this electrical work. So for this equality, the second term must be 0. Now if the cell reaction actually happens, it will not be 0. F is not 0. If temperature is 0, then entire thing will be stopped. There will be no transfer. Everything will freeze. So temperature is not 0 here. So only possibility is that dE dt must be 0. Now dE dt cannot be 0. So we have del H not equals to electrical work. But in some galvanic cells, this has a very low value. For example, in Weston cell, in Daniell cell, we will have a very low value here. So if we have a very low value here, what we will get? We will have a little impact of this second hand term on this del H. So in that case, when this dE dt will be tends to 0, then only the enthalpy change will equal the electrical work. But that is not generically equal. The generic source is actually the del G, and in this condition where dE dt tends to 0, you are just getting that del H is equals to del G, but that is not generically equal. So if such question comes, you just simply say that for the galvanic cells where the temperature coefficient is negligibly small, then this term will vanish, almost vanish, and then we will get electrical work to be almost equal to the enthalpy change. But for this problem, this is not the issue. I have just discussed a different topic. Now you see, for the determination of the value of change in enthalpy, you need both E cell and the temperature coefficient. Both are given. So you put the value, here it is 2. So the cell reaction will look like this: Zn plus 2Hg plus arrow Zn2 plus 2Hg. Obviously this is anode, this is more electropositive than mercury, so Zn will lose electron. So it will be Zn plus 2Hg plus arrow Zn2 plus Hg. This will be the reaction. So there is transfer of 2 electrons. So you will have minus 2 into F into 1.42. So let us put the value of F. 96500, and it is 1.42. This is volt coulomb, so that will, this is volt, this is coulomb, so that will give you joule. And in this case we will have, again it will be 2, it will be 96500. It will be better to take it as common. Now dE dt, oh, there is T here. Temperature is given. If temperature is not given, you put here 298, and you mention here that temperature is kept 25 degrees centigrade. Now the value of dE dt is minus 1.2 into 10 to the minus 3. Check it whether I have placed wrong or correct. So it is 2 into 96500 into 1.42. It is 2 into 96500 into 298 into the temperature coefficient. Now this negative and this plus, it will give you negative. So let us multiply this value. For this you need obviously calculator. So it is 96500 into 2 into 1.42. 96500 into 2 into 1.42 equals to, it is 274060. 274060. Now minus, it is 2 into 96500, 2 into 96500 into 298 into 1.2 divided by 1000. So it is 6901.6.8. See, it is 69016.8. Here you see it is per mole, it is coulomb, it is temperature, it is volt per coulomb. So per coulomb will, volt per degree Kelvin, volt per Kelvin. So it is volt per Kelvin, it is Kelvin, so it will cancel, it will give you volt. So volt, and here it is coulomb, it will be joule. So this is in joule, this is in joule. Now 274060. So it will give us minus 343076. Is the calculation correct? Minus 343076.8. It is in joule per mole, not Kelvin. So this is the answer. You can represent it in kilojoule, or del H equals to minus, you will get 343.0768 kilojoule per mole. So this is the change in enthalpy. Now if you wish to present it in calorie, then you have to divide it by 4.184. So it will be, or del H equals to minus 81.997 kilocalorie per mole. Do you understand? So using the value of electromotive force of the cell and the temperature coefficient, we can have the value of del H. But to have the value of change in entropy, you will only need this temperature coefficient, and to have the value of del G, you will need only this E cell. Now for del H, you need both. So this is about the change in enthalpy of any galvanic cell. Now another interesting problem, and it may be considered as the application of studying electrochemistry. The next problem is somehow critical, and you have to concentrate. So actually it is problem 3, but since the second problem did not appear in GATE, I am writing here problem 2. This problem 2 also appeared in GATE 2001. The problem is EMF of the cell AG, it is solid, AgCl, KCl, here it is given 0.05 mole per decimeter cube. Per decimeter cube. So actually it is per decimeter cube is liter, so it is actually mole per liter. Now KCl, after KCl it is AgNO3, and concentration given is 0.1 mole per liter. Here it is given mole per liter, so they are confusing you. So it is Ag solitary. This is the given cell. Now EMF of the cell is 0.431 volt. 0.431 volt at 298.15 Kelvin. The mean activity coefficient of KCl and AgNO3 are 0. For KCl it is 0.817 and for AgNO3 it is 0.723 respectively. It is given that the mean activity coefficient of KCl is 0.817 and that of AgNO3 is 0.723 respectively. Now we have to calculate the solubility product that is KSP of AgCl. So this is the application based problem. What is given? The cell is given and E cell is given, electromotive force of the cell, temperature is given, and the mean activity coefficient of KCl and AgNO3 are given, and they have told you to calculate the solubility product of AgCl at 25 degrees centigrade. Now see, here it is given 298.15 Kelvin, and here they are saying that determine the solubility product of AgCl at 25 degrees centigrade. So they are playing with your mind. Don't get nervous. Actually temperature will be playing its role in this expression 2.303 RT upon F, since we have to deal with the Nernst equation in this problem. Now let us calculate this for both the temperature at the start. So for 298.15 Kelvin it will be 2.303 into 8.314, it will be joule. Now temperature it is given 298.15 and it is 96500 coulomb. And for 25 degrees centigrade it will be 2.303 into 8.314 into 298 only, and here it will be 96500. So let us first calculate these two values. So it is 2.303 into 8.314 into 298.15 equals to, divided by 96500. So it is 0.05915. (77) 0.0591577. Now let us calculate the second part. It is 2.303 into 8.314 into 298 divided by 96500. It is 0.0591279. So you see there is no difference in the value that we use actually. We actually use in Nernst equation 0.0591 and we actually ignored the digits from the fifth place after decimal and so on. But the difference that is coming due to change in temperature is actually getting in the fifth place, and that actually we don't consider. But since they are giving, let us consider here. So we will write in case of This temperature we will write 0.05915. We will ignore 77, and here we will write 0.05912. So in this case it will be 5, in this case it will be 2. So nothing to worry. And if you don't use the difference, if you write 0.0591 in both the cases, the result will not going to vary, since the temperature difference is negligible. But let us make ourselves safe. Now the cell. Choose either oxidation method or reduction method. I am repeatedly telling it through the entire electrochemistry classes. So let us choose I am comfortable with the oxidation reaction, and it is not the case that reduction part is difficult. Now if you write it in oxidation mode, you have to subtract cathode from anode. So the part in the left that you will have to write it first, and the part on the right hand side, that is cathode, you will have to write it on the next below it, and then it will be easy to subtract it. But if you write it in reduction part, you will have to place the cathode reaction at the top and then anode reaction, so that you will be able to subtract anode from cathode. Now anode reaction will be Ag plus Cl minus arrow AgCl plus electron. This is interesting. See, silver is reacting with Cl minus from this KCl solution, and it is getting precipitated in the form of AgCl after releasing the electron at the anode. Now see, here it is 0, but here it is plus 1. So Ag plus Cl minus arrow AgCl means this silver is releasing 1 electron, and you are getting it in the negative electrode, that is anode. Now the cathode reaction will be, see, it will be Ag plus, so actually the cathode reaction is Ag plus plus electron arrow Ag, since reduction occurs at the cathode. Oxidation will occur at the anode, so it will be Ag plus Cl minus arrow AgCl plus electron, and we have written it in oxidation form. And reduction will occur at cathode. So in cathode, Ag plus will take up the electron that is being carried externally to this electrode. So Ag plus plus electron, that will give you silver, and this silver will get deposited at the cathode. But since you have to use a particular method for both, if you use oxidation method, you have to use it in both the cases. So we will write here the reverse reaction, Ag arrow Ag plus plus electron in oxidation mode. But this is not occurring. Actually what is occurring is that it is Ag plus plus electron arrow Ag. So we will subtract cathode reaction from the anode reaction. So cell reaction will be given as, this Ag will cancel, this is also in zero oxidation state, so it will be Cl minus, arrow, it is AgCl minus Ag plus, or it will be Ag plus Cl minus, we take it to the left hand side, arrow AgCl. So this is the cell reaction. Now what will be the K equilibrium for this reaction? We will need it. So this will be A of AgCl, that is activity of AgCl by activity of Ag plus into activity of Cl minus. For the cell reaction, Ag plus plus Cl minus arrow AgCl. So this is the cell reaction. Now if this is the cell reaction, then what will be the Nernst equation? I have told you that for Nernst equation, you have to write the cell reaction first accurately, and then you put the Nernst equation blindly. There is single electron transfer, so it will be 1, and here it is log. Now product by AgCl by Ag plus product by reactant. So this is the Nernst equation. Now see, E cell is given, it is 0.0. For this, the temperature given is 298.15 Kelvin. So we will have to write here 0.05915. Remember, I have told you at the start. So E cell given is 0.431 volt equals to E0 cell minus 0.05915 by 1. You need not to write. Now this AgCl activity of solid is 1, so it will be Ag plus, or rather we take it to the numerator and we write here plus. So it will be Ag plus into AgCl minus. Now we know the mean activity coefficient of any salt means that will be A plus minus to the power. For univalent salt we are getting plus 1 and plus 1 here. For plus 1 for the K plus and plus 1 for the Cl minus. So it will be A plus minus square. Now this is the mean activity coefficient for this KCl. Now it can be written as root over F plus into F minus, and it can be written as F minus square, it can be written as F plus square. I am repeating that this only you can write it for univalent salt. If it is a unibivalent, the structure will be different. So I will get back to this mean activity coefficient in some other lectures. For the present time, please remember that for KCl the mean activity coefficient will be F plus minus square, and it can be written in this format. Now this F plus, what is this? This F plus is the mean activity coefficient of the cation. This is the mean activity coefficient of the cation, and this F minus, it is the mean activity coefficient of the anion. Now that is the mean activity coefficient of the cation, that is the mean activity coefficient of the anion. But what about the salt? About the salt it will be F plus minus square. Then for KCl it will be, we can write it as FCl minus square, and that is given as, since you can see F plus minus square can be written as F minus square, so we can write it as FCl minus square, and it is given as 0.817. So what will be the value of FCl minus? It will be root over 0.817. Now for AgNO3, we can write it as FAg plus square, that is the mean activity coefficient of the cation, and square it is given as 0.723. See, this is 0.723 for AgNO3. So FAg plus will be root over 0.723. Now what will be the activity of the cation? It is the concentration of the cation, that is third bracket Ag plus into the activity coefficient. So you put the values here. See, the concentration of Ag plus that is given is 0.1. So it will be 0.1 into this value. So I will get this with calculator. Now see, it is root over 0.723 equals to 0.85 equals to 0.85 equals to 0.85. Now here it will be root over 0.817. So it will be 0.90. 0.90. Now similarly, activity of Cl minus will be Cl minus third bracket, that is concentration, into its activity coefficient. So it will be given by 0.05 into 0.90, that is 0.9. So we get the values of activities. Now how to get this mean activity coefficient and what does it mean, I will get back to you in other lecture in future, so that I can make it clear to you. Now this is E0 cell plus 0.05915 and it is log. You put all the values, so it is 0.1 into 0.05, that will give you. So let us write it overall: 0.1 into Ag plus 0.85 into 0.05 into 0.9. See, this is the value of activity of Ag plus and this is the value of activity of Cl minus. So from this we can determine the value of E0 cell. So let us find it. What E0 cell equals to. So we'll take this to the left hand side. Now it will be 0.431 minus 0.05915 into log 0.1 into 0.85 into 0.05 into 0.9. So that is 0.5739. So it is 0.5739. Now we have the value of the E0 cell, that is standard EMF of the given cell, which is 0.5739. Now it is known to us that del G0 equals to, it is said that it is del G naught, it is minus NF E naught cell. I usually say E0 cell, and it is equal to RT ln K equilibrium. Now these derivations I have shown you in detail in the electrochemistry lectures. So we have del G naught equals to minus NF E naught cell equals to minus RT ln K equilibrium. So ln K equilibrium will be minus NF E0 cell by minus RT, or log K equilibrium. This is base 10, this is base E, so this minus minus will cancel, so we will have N E0 cell by 2.303 RT upon F. When you convert this log natural to log 10 base, then we will get a factor here 2.303. So log E, that is log natural, equals to 2.303 log 10. So it will come to the denominator and it will be n E0 cell by 2.303 RT, and we take this Faraday to the denominator. Now it is at 25 degrees centigrade, since in question we have calculate the solubility product of AgCl at 25 degrees centigrade. Now to find the solubility product, the system must come to equilibrium. Since we are dealing with equilibrium constant, now we will use the temperature 25 degrees centigrade. So it will be, we have already performed the calculation. Now what is the value of N? It is a single electron transfer process, so it is 1 into, now see, we have obtained this value 0.5739, and here it will be 0.05912. You can remember in the start I have told you that for 25 degrees centigrade it will be 0.05912, and for 25.15 degrees centigrade as given here it will be 0.05915. So what is the value? Let us determine. So it will be 0.5739 divided by 0.05912. So it is 9.70737. 9.70737. So it is equals to 9.70737. This is the value of log K equilibrium, or K equilibrium equals to 10 to the power 9.70737. So we get the value of K equilibrium. Now see, this K equilibrium is actually this expression. So the activity of solid AgCl, it is 1, and for activity of Ag plus it is concentration of Ag plus multiplied by its activity coefficient, and concentration of Cl minus multiplied by activity coefficient of Cl minus. Now the solubility of AgCl is very low. It is a sparingly soluble salt. So the concentration of Ag plus and Cl minus will be very, very low. So we will get a very dilute solution of Ag plus and Cl minus, and when the solution is dilute, it will be a very good approximation to consider this to be 1 and this to be 1. So the activity coefficients becomes unity when we take the solution very, very dilute. So it will be concentration of Ag plus into concentration of Cl minus. Now for finding the solubility product, we have to write this dissociation reaction. So it is solid, it is aqua, and forward reaction occurs, backward reaction occurs, and a time will come when the forward reaction will be equal to the backward reaction and the equilibrium will be attained, and at this point we will get a solubility of Ag plus and Cl minus, and the product of the solubilities of this Ag plus and Cl minus at equilibrium will be referred as the solubility product. So Ksp is defined as the concentration of Ag plus multiplied by the concentration of Cl minus raised to the proper powers, that is the stoichiometric coefficient goes to the power, here it is 1 and 1, and this product will give you the solubility product. This will not appear since the activity will be 1, activity is 1. Now see what is the relation between this K equilibrium that is obtained from the Nernst equation and this solubility product. They are actually reciprocal of each other. So we can write here 1 by Ksp, or Ksp, that is solubility product of AgCl, is 1 by K equilibrium. Now K equilibrium is given. It is 1 by 10 to the power 9.70737. So Ksp equals to 10 to the power minus 9.70737. We need calculator. To calculate this, it is 10 to the power minus 9.70737. It is 1.9616 into 10 minus 10. So Ksp of AgCl at 25 degrees centigrade, it is 1.961 into 10 to the power minus 10. This is the answer. So this is the application based question, and with the help of this data we will be able to determine the solubility product of AgCl. Now in upcoming lectures, when I will deal with gate problems, I will show other applications of this Nernst equation or galvanic cell, which we will use to have different information regarding chemical system. So that's all about this problem.